She doesn't say it, but her body already has. There are moments when you're talking to a woman and everything seems perfectly normal. The conversation stays on safe topics, not a single word crossing the line. Yet, somewhere in the pauses, something strange begins to surface. A flicker in her eyes, a subtle shift in her tone, a small step that brings her closer than before. And suddenly, your heartbeat quickens, though you can't quite explain why. You don't hear her say anything to give herself away, but deep down, you can feel it. There's another layer of communication happening, a silent language her body is speaking, when words are only the surface. Women are taught to control themselves, to smile politely, keep their tone pleasant, and carry on a conversation without creating misunderstandings. But there's a part of them that doesn't obey reason, the part ruled by biology. And when genuine attraction sparks, that part speaks up before they even realize it. When the brain registers a man it finds compelling, a chain of automatic reactions begins. The sympathetic nervous system kicks in, the heart beats faster, breathing deepens, blood rushes to the face, neck, and chest. Pupils dilate to take in more of the sight before them. Some muscles relax, giving off softness, while others subtly tense as if preparing for something. These reactions don't require conscious control and they can't be faked. The eyes, the truest mirror. If you want to find the first giveaway, look at her eyes. When she's truly intrigued, her pupils dilate not because of lighting, but because her nervous system is opening the gates to drink in more of you. Her gaze lingers longer than politeness demands. Sometimes it slips away from your eyes and pauses elsewhere, your lips, your collarbone, your hands before returning. There are moments when her eyes seem to go still, as if she's etching your image into memory. Some looks carry both softness and something more, that deep, bedroom-like gaze where her eyelids lower slightly, pupils widen, and her stare seems to wrap around you in silence. The shrinking of space. Personal space is something everyone guards instinctively, but when attraction takes over, women unconsciously start to shrink that space. She'll find ways to stand or sit closer, lean in when you speak, or align her entire body toward you, shoulders, hips, feet all pointing the same way. This change is often subtle, a single step forward, a chair pulled just a little closer, a reason to stand side by side while looking at something together. If you're not paying attention, it feels natural, but in truth, it's her body's way of seeking proximity. Those accidental touches. Physical contact usually starts lightly, a brush of the fingers when handing something over, a palm resting briefly on your arm when she laughs, a soft bump of hips while passing by. If these touches happen only once, they might be accidental, but if they repeat, last a fraction longer than needed, and happen when the air between you is already warming, they're intentional. Beyond touching you, she also touches herself more often, running fingers through her hair, brushing her neck, touching her lips, adjusting her clothes or jewelry. These movements both release inner tension and, without her even knowing, draw your eyes to certain parts of her body. Breath and voice. When the rhythm changes. When she's drawn to you, her breathing shifts. It deepens, slows, sometimes carrying a faint sigh she's not aware of. Her voice changes too. It lowers in pitch, becomes warmer, softer. Her words slow down, with deliberate pauses that create an inviting rhythm. The volume drops, making you lean closer to hear, and that closeness feeds the charge between you. Posture and quiet confidence. Posture is another sign. Her back straightens, shoulders open, chest subtly lifted. These small changes make her look more confident and alluring, but they also reveal that her body wants to be noticed. She won't say, "Pay attention to me," but every movement, every stance, quietly sends that very message. When the signals combine, a lingering gaze could be concentration, a light touch could be friendliness, a poised stance could just be habit. But when all of them appear together, dilated pupils, shrinking distance, repeated touches, deeper breaths, warmer voice, open posture, it's no coincidence. These signals are like puzzle pieces. When you fit them together, they form a complete picture of genuine attraction. The importance of awareness. Many men miss these signs because they focus too much on words. They dissect each sentence, trying to find hidden meaning in conversation, without realizing that a woman's truest emotions often show up in her body first. If you train yourself to observe, you'll notice the exact moment her body starts talking to you in a language that needs no sound, yet speaks louder than anything she could ever say. She can fake a smile, But she can't fake biology. You can hear a woman laugh and believe it's because she's genuinely amused. You can hear her sweet compliments and think they come from real affection. But if you only rely on what she says or consciously does, you'll miss the most important part of the truth. A woman can learn to smile at just the right time, keep her voice pleasant, and hold eye contact at a socially appropriate level. But she cannot fully control what happens inside her body when she's truly drawn to someone. And here lies the biggest difference. Words can be faked. Biological reactions cannot. The truth starts from within. When a woman feels genuine attraction, her autonomic nervous system reacts before she's even aware of it. Her heart rate increases, breathing shifts, blood vessels expand, and her endocrine system releases hormones that put her body in a subtle state of arousal. This cascade triggers changes she can't consciously imitate and can't easily hide if you know what to watch for. The eyes, where secrets leak first. The pupils are the clearest giveaway. In moments of interest, they dilate to let in more light, not because the room is dim, but because her brain is in a state of desire. If you're talking to her and notice her pupils growing larger than normal, her gaze holding longer, even occasionally dropping to your lips before coming back, that's not a meaningless habit. That's biology at work. Sometimes her eyes carry an extra softness, as if she's not just looking but taking you in. Her eyelids may lower slightly, creating a subtle but unmistakable shift in mood. Breath and voice, a new rhythm. Another often overlooked sign is her breathing. When attraction kicks in, breaths grow deeper, slower. Sometimes she'll take longer inhales or exhale softly, without realizing it. Her voice shifts too, dropping in pitch, becoming warmer and richer. Words slow down, with more pauses, creating a captivating rhythm. The volume softens, drawing you to lean in, and that closeness feeds the silent energy between you. The flush of skin. One of the hardest things to fake is a change in skin tone. As her heart rate climbs and blood vessels expand, the skin of her cheeks, neck, and collarbone may take on a faint blush. It can appear and fade within seconds, but up close, and if you're paying attention, you'll catch it. Posture, a body leaning toward what it wants. When attraction is real, her body naturally orients toward you. Shoulders, hips, and feet line up in your direction. When you speak, she leans in not because she can't hear you, but because she wants to close the gap. Her hands also become busier, running through her hair, touching her neck, twisting a ring, adjusting a bracelet. These gestures release built-up energy and subtly draw your attention. When the reactions stack, a smile could be courtesy, a light touch could be habit, a long look could be focus. But when dilated pupils, altered breathing, a warmer voice, a faint flush, and an open posture show up together, you're not dealing with coincidence, you're witnessing biology. Why this matters? If you only listen to her words, you're at the mercy of the masks women are taught to wear. But if you learn to read what the body reveals, you'll see emotions she might not even have admitted to herself yet. Recognizing these signs isn't about catching her or rushing in too soon. It's about knowing when to take a step forward and when to simply stay in the moment. Because once the body has spoken, it's telling you a truth she can't fake. The more she's drawn to you, the more she finds reasons to be close. A woman will almost never say directly, "I want to be closer to you." It's not that she's afraid of admitting how she feels, it's that the way women express attraction is often wrapped in subtlety, layered with small, deliberate moves. Instead of straightforward words, she creates situations, little coincidences, that bring the two of you physically closer in the most natural way possible. If you're paying attention, you'll realize those coincidences are rarely random. Distance, the invisible language of closeness. Everyone has a personal space they instinctively protect. With someone she feels neutral about, a woman will keep this boundary firm. But when attraction stirs, that invisible line begins to blur. She steps a little closer, stands nearer when talking, or chooses the seat right next to you even though other spots are open. No verbal explanation needed, her body is sending a clear message: I want to be near you. Reasons that sound innocent but aren't. Women are masters at creating contexts that allow proximity. They'll always have a reason. Looking at a photo together on her phone, leaning in to speak because it's a bit noisy here. Standing beside you while observing something. These reasons sound perfectly logical, but when they keep happening, they stop being coincidences. Body orientation. A silent confession. Proximity is one thing, but the way her body aligns is another. When she's attracted, She'll unconsciously turn her entire frame toward you, shoulders, hips, and feet pointing in your direction. When you speak, she leans in not out of necessity, but because she wants to close the gap and feel your presence more strongly. Physical contact. From accidental to intentional. At first, touches are disguised as accidents. A light brush when passing something, a brief hand on arm when laughing, a gentle bump of hips while standing close. As attraction builds, these touches become more intentional. Her hand lingers longer on yours, rests on your shoulder while talking, or she positions herself so that your bodies are almost but not quite touching. Self-touch, the language of invitation. Beyond touching you, she touches herself more, running fingers through her hair, brushing her neck, touching her lips, adjusting her jewelry. These actions release the tension she feels and, without conscious intent, guide your eyes towards sensual areas. Extending time together. Attraction makes her not just want to be closer, but to stay longer. Conversations stretch naturally, fueled by new questions and topics. When you're about to leave, there's a reason to keep you. Stay for one more drink. Let's take a quick walk. Or just a little longer. The aim is to make the most of the time she has with you. Gentle signs of possession. When other women enter the scene, her attraction may surface as soft, territorial moves. She'll stand closer, touch you more often, or engage in more active conversation. The unspoken message. There's already a connection here. Attraction in its raw form. From an evolutionary perspective, reducing distance and increasing touch are behaviors that build trust, test receptiveness, and prepare for deeper intimacy. They're instincts shaped over thousands of years, back when choosing the right partner directly impacted survival and reproduction. Common close moments. Choosing the seat next to you despite open options elsewhere. Leaning in during conversation. Touching you multiple times under reasonable pretexts. Creating situations to be physically near. Prolonging the interaction to avoid parting. Increasing intimacy when others are around. When opportunities are made, any one of these behaviors alone could be politeness. But when they appear together, repeat, and feel consistent, they signal genuine attraction. The only question left is whether you recognize it and how you choose to respond. Don't just look at one sign, see the whole picture. Many men, when they first hear about a woman's body language, focus on a single sign. They think that spotting one lingering gaze, one light touch, or one special smile is enough to declare she's attracted. But the truth is, if you focus on just one detail, you're likely to be misled. A long look might simply be concentration. A light touch could be a habit. A bright smile might be pure politeness. Real attraction doesn't live in a single piece. It's a complete picture built from multiple signals that appear together, repeat, and amplify one another. The difference between a note and a symphony. Think of hearing just one note and trying to guess the entire song. You'd have no idea if it's a love ballad, a fast dance track, or a slow, melancholic piece. Attraction is the same. It's a symphony, and you have to hear multiple notes at once to understand the melody. A single sign won't tell you much, but when several appear at the same time, you'll start to see the emotional current running between you. Signal clusters, the language of synchrony. A cluster of attraction signals might include eyes, dilated pupils, lingering stares, glances at your lips, distance, shrinking personal space, stepping into your zone, touch, repeated, longer than necessary contact, voice, warmer, slower, softer, posture, body angled toward you, open shoulders, straight back, self-touch, hair twirling, neck brushing, adjusting jewelry, time, stretching the conversation, delaying the goodbye. When several of these occur together and consistently, the chances you're looking at genuine attraction rise dramatically. An example of a full picture. You meet her at a cafe. In just 10 minutes, you notice her eyes linger longer than normal, pupils wide. She glances at your lips 3 times. She leans toward you even though the table's close enough. While laughing, her hand touches yours. She runs her fingers through her hair and brushes her neck as you speak. Her voice is lower and slower than when she first greeted you. Individually, these could be coincidences. Together, they're a clear message. Context, the filter you need. Attraction often shows up faster than you think, sometimes within the first few minutes, and grows if the interaction flows well. But context matters. In a work setting, signs may be muted. In a relaxed, intimate space, they'll be more obvious. If you ignore the environment, you could misread the moment. Frequency and repetition. A single occurrence might be random, but repetition changes the game. If a sign happens multiple times in the same conversation, especially in combination with others, its meaning becomes much stronger. Watch for patterns. Gaze to light, touch to smile, to gaze again. When you spot a loop like this, it's rarely accidental. The convergence moment. In real attraction, there's often a moment when all the signals converge. Distance disappears. Eye contact deepens. Her voice drops. Touches feel natural, and the air between you seems to slow. This is the golden moment. Respond well, maintain eye contact, hold the closeness, or gently increase touch, and the connection can jump to the next level. Miss it, and the energy can fade fast. Common mistakes men make. Too many men fixate on one sign and miss the rest of the picture. They rush in because of a single lingering gaze, then feel disappointed when it turns out to be nothing. Others walk away from an opportunity because they fail to see how several small signs were already forming a loud, unspoken yes. Understanding the whole picture keeps you from moving too soon and from missing your best moment. From recognition to response. Spotting the cluster is only step 1. Step 2 is adjusting your pace to match the strength of the signal. If it's still subtle, keep building comfort and closeness gradually. If it's strong and constant, you can move forward with confidence. When you can read the entire picture, every move you make feels natural because you're no longer guessing what she wants.